친애하는 동지들, 영영한 인민군 장병들과 사랑하는 온 나라 전체인민들, 그리운 동포 형제.
Respected Kim Jong Un, First Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea, First Chairman of the National Defense Commission of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, and Supreme Commander of the Korean People's Army, made an address on the occasion of the New Year, Juche 102 or 2013. In the New Year address, Kim Jong Un tendered the highest tribute and New Year greetings to great President Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, the fathers of the nation and eternal son of Juche, reflecting the unanimous reverence of all the service personnel and people for them. He extended warm New Year greetings to the service personnel and people, and sincerely wished all the families across the country harmony and great happiness. He also sent his New Year greetings to the compatriots in the South and abroad who are ringing in the New Year with yearning and expectations for the reunification and prosperity of the nation and the world's progressive peoples and our foreign friends who love justice and peace. Kim Jong-un said, "Last year was a historic year in which the great generalissimus Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il were upheld as the eternal leaders of our revolution, and the firm guarantee was provided for brilliantly carrying forward the revolutionary cause of Juche to completion under the leadership of the party. President Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il were great leaders, whom our people acclaimed for the first time in their history, spanning thousands of years. They are the eternal images of the great Baek-do-san nation and banners of all victories and glory. Last year, we celebrated the centenary of the birth of President Kim Il-sung as the greatest national holiday, reviewed the 100-year history of Juche Korea with pride, and held up Kim Jong-il as the eternal leader of our party and people, realizing the cause of immortalizing the leader. By doing so, we have been able to glorify the new century of the Juche era as the annals of victory and glory for the accomplishment of the revolutionary cause of Juche under the unfolded banner of Kim Il-sungism, Kim Jong-ilism. Although they saw in 2012 in tears of blood after the sudden demise of Kim Jong-il, whom they had believed in as in heaven, our service personnel and people determinedly rose up, following the party with a firm faith that he would always be with them, and fully supported the leadership of the party. With loyalty as pure as white gem, noble sense of moral obligation, and all sincerity, they refurbished the Kumsusan Palace of the Sun in the most sublime way, as befits the supreme sanctuary of Juche, and erected the statues of the generalissimus on Mansu Hill and in several places. Placing deep trust in and faithfully supporting the party, they established the ties of blood with it, their hearts pulsating in the same beats with it, and always shared sweets and bitters with it. Major political celebrations held amid the deep interest of the whole nation and the days of last year bore testimony to the single-hearted unity between the party, the army, and the people, which was further consolidated to be unbreakable ties of blood. Last year, our service personnel and people achieved historic victories which would brilliantly shine in the history of the country. Our reliable scientists and technicians successfully launched the second version of artificial Earth satellite Kwangmyongsan-3, carrying out the instruction of great Kim Jong-il with credit, and fully demonstrating the high level of space science and technology and overall national power of Juche Korea. That we successfully manufactured and launched the scientific and technological satellite by entirely relying on our own efforts, technology, and wisdom was an event of national jubilation that raised the dignity and honor of the Sun's nation onto the highest level, and the great event which inspired all the service personnel and people with confidence in sure victory and courage, and clearly showed that Korea does what it is determined to do. Through the parade held in celebration of the centenary of the birth of President Kim Il-sung, our revolutionary armed forces demonstrated the inexhaustible might of the powerful revolutionary army of Mount Baekdu, steadfast in ideology and faith, and equipped with Korean-style modern military hardware capable of defeating any formidable enemy. And they reliably safeguarded the security of the country by resolutely smashing every war provocation and anti-DPRK smear campaign of the enemy. The officers and men of the People's Army and the People's Internal Security Forces made breakthroughs on all major fronts of building a thriving country with a medal of at the goal, and did many good things for the happiness of the people, thereby living up to the expectations and trust of the party and people. Although the situation was acute and complicated, and severe natural calamities hit the country in succession last year, our army and people made great strides in their efforts to build a thriving socialist country and improve the people's living standards by displaying an indomitable will and waging an unyielding struggle. We put the Hitan power station and Tancheon port into commission, built many Tsuche-oriented and modern factories and enterprises, and reconstructed major production bases in key industrial sectors on the basis of advanced science and technology, thus further consolidating the material and technological foundations of our economy. Thanks to the exalted patriotic zeal of the service personnel and people, monumental edifices, including Changjeon Street and Rungna People's Pleasure Park, sprang up in Pyongyang, and many cultural facilities for the promotion of the well-being of the people were built in different parts of the country, changing its looks. Last year, the superior socialist education system was further consolidated through the adoption of the law on enforcing universal 12-year compulsory education. Our sports people achieved laudable successes in international games, adding glory to the country. And our revolutionary artists conducted artistic activities in a fresh and enterprising manner, imbuing society with an animating spirit and greatly encouraging the people in their struggle. The brilliant successes we achieved in the revolutionary struggle and construction work last year were ascribable to the fact that great Kim Jong Un had unfolded an ambitious blueprint and laid firm foundations for the building of a thriving country. Last year's significant successes were a valuable fruit born of the unshakable determination and correct leadership of our party to glorify Kim Il-sung's and Kim Jong-il's career all over the world by translating the far-reaching plan and instructions of great Kim Jong-il into reality, and the lofty sense of loyalty and patriotic devotion of our service personnel and people unfailingly faithful to the party. The new year 2013 is a year of great creations and changes, in which a radical turnabout will be effected in the building of a thriving socialist country on the road of the onward march in the new century of Kim Il-sung's and Kim Jong-il's career. All the people and service personnel should dynamically turn out in the grand onward march for building a thriving country full of pride of victories and confidence in a rosy future. The road of Tsuche is the only path for our party and people to invariably follow, and great Kim Il-sungism, Kim Jong-ilism is the ever-victorious banner of our revolution. We should march forward along the road of independence, the road of Sungun, and the road of socialism to the end, upholding the banner of Kim Il-sungism, Kim Jong-ilism. Our party will triumphantly build a thriving socialist nation, the most powerful country on this land in our own way, the way great Kim Jong-il did by relying on our people who are the best in the world. This year, we'll be greeting the 65th anniversary of the founding of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, our glorious motherland, and the 60th anniversary of the victory in the Great Fatherland Liberation War. In this significant year, we should add brilliance to the immortal achievements of the great generalissimos and make persevering efforts to build a thriving socialist country and carry out the cause of reunifying the country. In the same manner as we demonstrated the unity and might of Sungun Korea through the manufacture and launch of the Tsuche-based application satellite, the entire party, the whole country and all the people should wage an all-out struggle this year to effect a turnabout in building an economic giant and improving the people's standard of living. Let us bring about a radical turn in the building of an economic giant with the same spirit and mettle as were displayed in conquering space. This is the fighting slogan our party and people should uphold this year. All sectors and all units of the national economy should launch a vigorous general offensive to boost production in hearty response to the party's militant slogan. All economic undertakings for this year should be geared to effecting a radical increase in production and stabilizing and improving the people's living standards by solidifying and making effective use of the already built foundations of the independent national economy. By adopting decisive steps to shore up the vanguard sectors of the national economy and the sectors of basic industries, we should develop coal mining, electric power and metallurgical industries and rail transport on a preferential basis and provide a firm springboard for the building of an economic giant. Agriculture and light industry remain the major fronts for economic construction this year too. We should fulfill this year's plan for growing production without fail by concentrating nationwide efforts on farming and raising the efficiency of agricultural production by dint of scientific and intensive methods. We should take concrete measures for the supply of raw and other materials to light industry factories and thus increase the output of quality consumer goods. We should decisively bolster up livestock, fish and fruit farming to provide the people with a better, more bountiful diet. The soldiers of the People's Army and the Shock Brigade members who volunteered to work at the reclamation site of Sepo Tableland in response to the party's call should achieve miraculous successes and perform heroic feats in this year's campaign to open a bright prospect for carrying the party's grand nature-remaking plan to completion at an earlier date. All sectors and all units of the national economy should push ahead with a socialist emulation drive to re-energize production and fulfill their quotas as fixed in the national economic plan for this year. They should improve economic guidance and management as demanded by the developing reality. We should bring about a radical turn in the building of an economic giant on the strength of science and technology by fanning the flames of the Industrial Revolution in the new century. We should continue to channel great efforts into consolidating our political and military might in every way. The single-hearted unity of the army and the people around the party is our strongest weapon and a powerful propellant for the building of a thriving socialist country. The People's Army should prepare all its officers and men to be a match for 100 combatants who have acquired capabilities for actual warfare and maintain full combat readiness. If the aggressors dare launch a preemptive attack against our sacred country, the People's Army should mercilessly annihilate them and win victory in the war for the country's reunification. Officers and men of the Korean People's Internal Security Forces and members of the Worker Peasant Red Guards should intensify combat and political training and maintain full combat readiness with a determination to safeguard their party and leader, country and people, and defend their hometowns. The sector of defense industry should develop in larger numbers sophisticated military hardware of our own style that can contribute to implementing the party's military strategy, thereby fulfilling its mission as the arsenal of the powerful revolutionary army of Mountbatten. All sectors in cultural construction should implement to the letter the ideas, lines and policies set forth by the great Kim Jong Un and develop education, public health, literature and the arts, physical culture, public morals and all other branches as appropriate to an advanced civilized nation. We should develop Pyongyang into a more majestic and picturesque city, as befits the capital of Chulche Korea, the center of Sungun culture, and turn all streets and villages, mountains and rivers in provinces, cities and counties into a socialist paradise. In order to effect a radical change in this year's campaign to build a thriving socialist country, officials should make a fundamental turnabout in their ideological viewpoint, work style and attitude. Party organizations should further enhance their militant function and role. Working people's organizations should conduct effective education among their members to suit their specific features, thus inspiring them to an all-out offensive for this year. We should staunchly safeguard and add brilliance to the undying exploits the great generalissimus performed for the sacred cause of national reunification and accomplish the historic cause of the country's reunification, a long-cherished desire of our nation, through to the lofty intention of the peerlessly great persons. An important issue in putting an end to the division of the country and achieving its reunification is to remove confrontation between the North and the South. Respecting and thoroughly implementing the North-South joint declarations is a basic prerequisite to promoting the inter-Korean relations and hastening the country's reunification. The driving force of the reunification movement is the entire Korean nation, and nothing is impossible if it achieves firm unity. All the members of the Korean nation in the north, south and abroad should subordinate and orientate everything to the great national cause of reunifying the country from the standpoint of giving priority and attaching importance to the nation and achieving its unity. The present international situation demands that our republic continue to advance along the road of independence under the unfolded banner of Sungun. By holding fast to the ideals of independence, peace and friendship, we'll in the future too strive to develop relations of friendship and cooperation with the countries that are friendly to our country out of their respect for its sovereignty and safeguard regional peace and stability and make the whole world independent. A brighter and broader vista is open for us in the new year, and only victory and glory are in store for our people on their onward march. In the New Year address, Kim Jong Un called upon all to vigorously strive to achieve the prosperity of our country, our motherland, firmly rallied behind the party under the banner of Kim Il-sungism, Kim Jong-ilism.
자기 사업에 대한 높은 책임감과 인력심, 진취적인 사업 태도를 가지고 최대의 마력을 내야 하며 당과 인민 앞에 자기 충실성과 실천력을 평가받아야 합니다. 당 조직들의 정치적 기능과 역할을 더욱 높여야 하겠습니다. 모든 당 조직들은 해당 단위 정치적 참모부로서 당 정책 관철에서 정책적 대를 바로 세우고 조직 정치 사업을 짜고 들어 올해 자기 부분, 자기 단위 사업에서 혁신적 앙양이 일어나도록 해야 합니다. 당 조직들은 어머니다운 심정으로 모든 사람들을 품에 안아 따뜻이 보살펴주고 이끌어주어 그들이 당과 끝까지 운명을 같이하며 자기 초소에서 맡은 일을 책임적으로 해나가도록 해야 합니다. 당 사업을 1970년대처럼 화선식으로 전환시키고 김정일 애국주의를 실천 활동에 철저히 구현하도록 하는데 당 사업의 화력을 집중하여야 하겠습니다. 김정일 애국주의는 김일성 민족의 영원한 넋이고 숨결이며 부강조국 건설의 원동력입니다. 당 조직들은 모든 일꾼들과 당원들과 근로자들이 김정일 애국주의를 피 끓는 심장에 소중히 간직하고 사회주의 조국이 융성번영을 위한 오늘의 성스러운 투쟁에서 애국적 열의와 헌신성을 높이 발휘해 나가도록 하여야 합니다. 근로단체 조직들은 자기 조직의 특성에 맞게 동맹원들에 대한 교양사업을 실속 있게 벌려 모든 동맹원들을 올해의 총돌격전으로 힘있게 불러일으켜야 합니다. 청년동맹 조직들은 모든 청년들이 당을 따라 언제나 곧바로 힘차게 나가며 창조와 위운으로 대고조 시대를 빛내는 청년용이 되도록 하여야 합니다. 조국 통일은 더는 미룰 수 없는 민족 최대의 절박한 과제이며 위대한 대원수님들의 필생의 뉘우먼이고 유운입니다. 민족의 어버이시며 조국 통일의 구성이신 위대한 김일성 동지와 김정일 동지께서는 민족 분열의 고통을 누구보다 가슴 아파하시며 우리 결의에게 통일된 조국을 안겨주기 위해 한평생 온갖 노고와 심혈을 다 바치시어 나라의 자주적 통일과 평화 번영을 위한 튼튼한 토대를 마련해 주시었습니다. 우리는 위대한 대원스님들께서 조국 통일 성업에 쌓아올리신 불멸의 업적을 견결히 옹호 고수하고 빛내어 나가며 절세의 위인들이 숭고한 뜻을 받들어 민족 최대의 수건인 조국 통일의 역사적 위협을 반드시 실현하여야 합니다. 올해 온 민족이 단합하여 거적적인 통일 애국 투쟁으로 조국 통일의 새로운 국면을 열어놓아야 합니다. 나라의 분열을 종식시키고 통일을 이룩하는 데서 나서는 중요한 문제는 북과 남 사이의 대결 상태를 해소하는 것입니다. 지나온 북남 관계가 보여주는 바와 같이 동족 대결로 초래될 것은 전쟁뿐입니다. 남조선의 반통일 세력은 동족 대결 정책을 버리고 민족의 화해와 단합, 통일의 길로 나와야 할 것입니다. 북남 공동선언을 존중하고 리행하는 것은 북남 관계를 전진시키고 통일을 앞당기기 위한 근본 전제입니다. 북과 남, 해외의 오는 교례는 세세기 민족 공동의 통일 대가이며 평화 번영의 리정표인 6.15 공동선언과 14선언을 철저히 리행하기 위한 투쟁을 적극 벌려나가야 할 것입니다. 조국 통일 문제는 우리 민족끼리 힘을 합쳐 자주적으로 풀어나가야 합니다. 조국 통일의 주체는 전체 조선민족이며 온 민족이 힘을 합치면 이 세상 못 해낼 일이 없습니다. 북과 남, 해외의 전체 조선민족은 민족 우선, 민족 중시, 민족 단합의 입장에 서서 전 민족적 위협인 조국 통일의 대의의 모든 것을 복종시키고 지향시켜 나가야 합니다. 전체 조선민족은 외세의 지배와 간섭, 침략과 전쟁 책동을 단호히 반대 배격하며 조국 통일을 방해하는 그 어떤 행위도 절대로 허용하지 말아야 합니다. 우리는 조국 통일의 앞길에 그 어떤 시련과 난관이 가로놓인다 하여도 온 민족의 단합된 힘으로 삼천리 강토 위에 통일되고 번영하는 강성국가를 기어이 일떠 세워야 말 것입니다. 오늘 국제무대에서는 주권국가들에 대한 제국주의자들이 간섭과 군사적 침략 책동으로 하여 인류의 평화와 안전에 엄중한 위험이 조성되고 있으며 특히 조선반도를 포함한 아시아 태평양 지역은 항시적인 긴장이 떠도는 세계 최대의 열점 지역으로 되고 있습니다. 온갖 지배와 예속을 반대하고 자주적으로 살려는 인류의 지향과 염원은 더욱 강렬해지고 있으며 자주와 정의의 길로 나가는 역사의 흐름은 그 누구도 막을 수 없습니다. 오늘의 국제정세는 우리 공화국이 지난날과 마찬가지로 선군의 기치를 높이 들고 자주의 길로 나아갈 것을 요구하고 있습니다. 우리는 앞으로도 자주, 평화, 친선의理念 밑에 우리나라의 자주권을 존중하고 우리를 우호적으로 대하는 세계 여러 나라들과의 친선 협조 관계를 확대 발전시키며 지역의 평화와 안정을 수호하고 세계의 자주화를 실현하기 위하여 적극 노력할 것입니다. 새해 우리 앞에는 더 밝고 광활한 전망이 펼쳐져 있으며 우리 인민이 나아가는 앞길에는 언제나 승리와 영광만이 있을 것입니다. 내 나라 내 조국의 부강 번영을 위하여 힘차게 싸워나갑시다.